everyone, how you doing? Dan here, and today we're at the lovely Cuerden Valley Park. So I actually grew up not too far from here. This was my local area when growing up, and when I was in college, these hills here was part of my final major project for my media production course. So lots of fun times here, but today I thought we could have a look at trying to get a vertical pano on the DJI Mini 2. Now, a vertical pano is a nice high resolution vertical image where we're going to have to capture 2 or 3 images, stitch them together in post, and we get a nice image where we're going to have a little bit more data to crop. So the higher end models, I believe the Mavic Pro and the Air 2 already has this as a function, but we're going to have a look at doing it manually today. So the basic idea is we're going to find a really nice place to send the drone up, and we're going to take some pictures in the sky. But today our challenge isn't only a nice vertical pano, we're also going to have a look at doing a HDR vertical pano. So for the 3 images we're going to be capturing 3 images. 1 underexposed, 1 overexposed, and 1 as exposed as possible. So we'll be looking at about 9 images in total to stitch together in post to give us a HDR vertical pano. And you know what, guys? I think here it's looking quite good. So I'll get the drone set up and we'll see what we can accomplish. So I've got the drone all set up now and we're looking pretty good. So the idea is, like I said, we're going to be looking at capturing 9 images. So we're looking at getting 3 different shots and also 3 different exposures of each shot. So the idea is here, we're going to be taking a 4x3 image, but then we're going to get a little bit of overlap and almost make it into a 4x6 image. And then again, if we get a 3rd image, we're going to be looking at 4:9. Now, of course, because we need some overlap, then aspect ratios are going to be a little bit different, which is fine. Probably for 3 images, we're going to be looking at a 4:7 aspect ratio, which is going to be great when we come to crop, especially for Instagram and things where we do tend to use portrait crops a little bit more. So pretty much in every direction we look, especially when I'm going to send the drone up, we're going to have quite a lot of choices. So we might even take 2 or 3 different images and see what we can capture. But first of all, let's have a look over here. Let's go to picture mode and AEB, and let's change it down from a 4-second exposure because that's absolutely ridiculous. There we go, that's looking good. I'm happy with that. So let's go a little bit higher and have a look at some things we're going to have to worry about when doing this. So first of all, when we're doing this, we don't want the gimbal to move too much. We want to tilt it down a little bit to capture the ground data. We want to tip it up to get the data we'd normally be getting, and we want to just tilt it up a little bit just so we capture some of the sky data, or we can merge it all together in post. Also, whilst we're taking the images, because we're taking multiple images which are very similar, we don't want the drone to move left, right, up, down, forward, backwards. We want it to stay as still as possible. So we're going to give it a try and we're going to find a nice composition. I'm going to go a little bit higher. So we're going to point the camera down and get the ground, something looking like this. Just let it take 3 images, it'll take its time. Then we're going to just knock the gimbal up and get the shot we probably would have got if we weren't doing this experiment. Something looking like that. And finally, we'll get one of maybe more for sky like that. So now we've got tons of images to merge together and get as much data as we can out of these images, and hopefully get an absolutely amazing crop for something like Instagram. Let's have a look at some other compositions. Now just over here we've got a lake, so we might be able to get something really nice with that. So I'll just send the drone up. Oh, look how stunning that looks. This is absolutely amazing. Where's the lake? There it is. Now already we're looking really nice, but I'm going to go a bit higher. There we go. Shame about that tree. So if anyone's been to Cuerden before, down there, that's where the little river is, and there's all the stepping stones down there, which is always fun. So something like this. So if we could capture, yeah, there we go. So we'll capture a little bit of the forest. Again, 3 images, so we're doing our automatic exposure bracket. Now this is great just for capturing HDR images on their own, but when you do it like this, you're going to get that extra bonus of getting a really, really nice vertical image, which, you know, everyone goes for a nice wide landscape image, but not many people go for the vertical, and it's such a nice effect. I can't wait to show you these images. I think I'm going to bring the drone back down and then we can have a look how to stitch these together back in the studio. Now, if you guys are liking this video, which I hope you are doing, I hope you're finding it informative and a little bit fun. If you are, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Hey everyone, so we're back in the studio and I thought we could have a quick look at what we're going to be trying to accomplish. So here are one set of images. So let me show you what we've got. So we've got one image here, which is looking down at the trees, and we've got 3 different exposures. So we've got kind of like a mid exposure, an underexposed, so we're capturing all of the highlight data, and we've got one which is a little bit overexposed, so we can capture details in the shadow and darker areas of the picture. Then we've got the next picture, which was a little bit higher up. So you see we've cut off this set of trees here, and we've also cut off the sky. And again, we've got 3 images of different exposures there. And finally, we've got one focusing on the sky, like so. And then the idea is we're going to merge all of these together to end up with something looking like this, which is, as you see, we've got all of the trees here, we've got the middle bit of the image, and we've also got the bit in the sky, creating a nice vertical panorama image. So this is what we're going to be looking at doing. Now it's super easy in Adobe Lightroom. It only takes a couple of clicks. So let's get started. So first things first, here are the images I captured the other day. Now I've got quite a few, so we'll just go through a couple of them. Now I did also have JPEG files, but I decided to delete them. I just feel the JPEG clog up my Mac and my Lightroom, and I don't really need them. It would be really great if on the DJI Mini 2 you could just set it to just take raw images instead of a JPEG as well, but maybe that's something we'll get in the future. So I'm just going to select these images here, and what we're going to do is we're going to drag these into Lightroom. Let's just make a new folder here, Cuerden drone. Let's pop these in here and add 36 images, and then we'll make this full screen so we can see what we're doing. Now we're just going to do a little bit of housekeeping here just to make sure we can be as organized as possible. So here is image number 1. This is quite nicely arranged actually, so we've got all of the mid exposures here, and we've got all of the underexposure here, and finally we've got all of the overexposed images. So each set of 9 should in theory be one complete image. So what we'll do is we'll put these in groups. So this is all one image. So we'll just right click on these and we will group into stack, or you can do Command and G or Control and G if you're on a PC. And then we're going to do the same again. So there we go. Command G, and again it's ruined a nice pattern of my images now, but oh well, I'm sure we'll manage. Command G again. Now we should be back in line again. Command G, and finally that's the one I've already done, but that's already in a stack, so we don't need to worry about that. So once you've stacked all your images together, this makes the next step extremely easy. So as we know, we've got 3 images, all with 3 different exposures, so 9 in total. Now we need to merge your images together to get the high dynamic range image, and we also need to stitch your images together to get their vertical pano. So we've got 2 steps to do. Now in Lightroom we can actually do this all together in one stage, which is absolutely amazing. So all we need to do now is right click on one of the images, and let's go with this one. Right click it, go down to Photomerge, and then we've got HDR merge, panorama merge, or a HDR panorama merge. One guess to you guys to where we're going to be clicking, but just as a quick run through, HDR merge obviously merges 3 exposures together to get a high dynamic range image. Panorama merge stitches images together to get panoramas. This is really great for the 360 panoramas you can capture on the DJI Mini 2 as well. And finally, we've got HDR panorama merge, which does HDR images and also the pano. So we'll click on this one and it'll just gather all the data. It doesn't normally take too long. Now I'm on the M1 Max, so it is fairly speedy. So here we go. So this is what we captured, and it's just going to refine the preview. Now this is really cool. So as we can see, our original image would have been something about here to here, but now we've got all of this detail in the bottom and the lovely sky as well. Now so what we can do here is we can change the type of projection. Now sphericals tends to work 99% of the time for me. Cylindrical always looks really weird. We'll just have a quick look at what that's going to do. There we go. So you see that's kind of looking a little bit warped in the middle. I kind of prefer the look of spherical, and perspective. Sometimes again, it sometimes works, but most of the time I find spherical does the job absolutely perfectly. Yeah, that's looking well weird. Let's abort mission, and go back to this, which I think is looking the best. Now we've got a couple of options down here. You've got fill edges, which will fill all of this white space in with a content aware fill. Now sometimes this works really well. For this image, I don't think it's going to work particularly well, but we'll give it a try. Oh, That's, in all honesty, not done a massively bad job, but you can tell a little bit around here and here it's not done the best job, but we'll turn this off for now. You can also auto apply settings, so this will just allow Lightroom to pretty much edit it the way it thinks you want it. I think it's better to do this step yourself. You've gone through all of the effort to capture all of these images, 9 images in total to make one image, so why would you at the last moment let Lightroom pretty much do what it wants with it? It's much better for you to have manual control over this step, in my opinion. And we've also got auto crop, which will get rid of the white spaces around the edge. I tend to turn this on and then I will go into the crop settings and change it, because normally you can get a little bit more data. So we'll hit merge and we see up here at the top left it's merging. Now it won't take too long. There we go. So we'll just click on this image now. So we'll just go in here and there's our image. So our original image was looking something like this, so we didn't really have much detail down here or in the sky, but now we've got a really nice wide sky image and we've got quite a lot going on down here, and we've got a nice vertical image, whereas these are more landscaped. But if we go to a crop, you see here we've got a little bit more playroom up here to get a bit more data, just a little bit, and again down here. Let's make every single pixel count, and then we can come out of the crop menu and we've got a little bit of extra data to play with. Now if we do go to crop and you want to crop for Instagram, let's have a look, 4:5. Here we are, that's right, yep. And so for our crop now, we're looking at all of this data down here, all the trees, and look at all that sky, that's so awesome. Whereas on our original image, which we'll go with this one for now, we'll do our Instagram 4:5, and we'll rotate it to get the 4:5. Let's see here, we've got a much more constrained crop, and it's nowhere near as nice as all this data here. So just a super fun technique which you can always try out whilst you're flying your drone. As I mentioned, I do believe the Mavic Pro and the Air 2 do this already, but it's nice to be able to do this in a manual way on the Mini 2. So as a quick recap guys, we captured 9 images, 3 different gimbal positions, and then for each gimbal position we captured 3 different exposures, one slightly underexposed, one kind of middly exposed, one kind of exposed in the middle, and one exposed for the highlights. We then brought these into Lightroom, merged them together with a HDR Pano mode, and then we click spherical, and then we've got all of this data to play with. It does it super quick, and you end up with a nice image where you can crop even more for Instagram, which is absolutely amazing considering most of our images end up there anyway. But guys, we're getting to that stage of the video where I really hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope you learned something new, and if you did, please remember to like, comment and subscribe. In regards to the comments, I do read every single one of them and I do try to reply to as many as possible. But thank you for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers!